15 years ago, I moved to London to join the corporate world. But here I am, sat in my front room in Manchester at 11:15 on a Wednesday, talking to you. So it seems life has turned out differently than my careers advisor had planned. I buy secondhand shit. I've got about three friends, and I am the happiest I've ever been. So here's 9 ingredients that I've stirred into my life, which have made it happier, better, and more fulfilling than ever before. But don't worry, this isn't some self help lecture thing where I tell you how you must live your life. We've all got our own problems, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know the answer to your own unique struggles. But maybe something here will save you from wasting some of the time that I wasted. Genuinely, I tried to do a bit of research on this point, and the moment I clicked on BBC News, I remembered all of the reasons why I stopped reading it in the first place. Oh my fucking god, how can anyone ever expect to feel good about anything with all that negativity being crowbarred into your brain first thing in the morning? It's easy to think that reading the headlines is keeping you well informed about what's going on in the world. But what if staying informed is what is making you miserable? I know positivity isn't like cool, but man, there's good things happening all day, every day, as well as all the shit that happens. And it just seems so hard to focus on good things in the face of all the bad stuff. And I don't know, I don't think that's a good thing, eh? Feeling grouchy and negative all the time, just, dude, it seems exhausting. I haven't followed the news in forever, and checking it out this week, it's the same shit as it was when I used to read it. The world is still the world, but my own little personal corner of the world is a way better place to be now that I never read the news. You are what you eat doesn't just apply to what you put in your mouth. I feel like it applies to what you put in your brain as well. And if you don't believe me, I double dare you to try and not watch the news for a week and tell me that doesn't make you feel happier. Believe me, if something actually important and relevant happens in the world during that time, somebody will text you. You will find out. Freedom is great, right? The ultimate goal is not to have anyone to tell you
what to do, what to think, or what to feel.
But when I'm just a little bit too free, I get completely overwhelmed with all the possibilities of things that I could do. And I end up doing nothing, just stuck being indecisive and wasting that time instead. I guess having structure is a bit harder for me now that I'm self-employed and I don't have somewhere to be all day, every day for like a set amount of time. So like, what's the difference really in whether I film this now or film it later? Honestly, kind of everything. I've noticed that when I'm the most chaotic and disorganized, I feel the worst. Shit doesn't get done. I keep finding excuses to not do the important things that I need to do but don't really enjoy. Stuff like doing the washing up or the laundry, even getting a haircut. I was a bit disorganized last week and now I look like this and it bothers me feeling scruffy. Plus it builds up like I haven't had a haircut. Is it even worth trimming my beard or should I let it grow out for a bit? Things just slip and slide when I don't look after them early. So I try not to let them build up too much. I am not perfect at this, but even just trying at it and being okay rather than even good is way better than doing nothing. Even basic and kind of like silly feeling structure helps out. Like I eat the same breakfast at the same time every day. I have the same lunch most days of the week. And then I try and go for a little walk around the block after that, just to stop me feeling so sluggish and like drowsy in the afternoons. All those things alone don't sound like anything at all, do they? But all put together, they help me feel like situated and located where I need to be and doing the things that I need to do. So I promise I will have had a haircut before filming next week's video. So again, this might be related to me being self-employed and not having like a group of guys that I'm kind of mates with because I see every day in the office. I used to think loads of cool nights out in cool bars with cool people would make me feel happier and more satisfied. I mean, it sounds like a fun and vibrant social life, doesn't it? But what I found was they weren't people that I really cared about. And a lot of it was just more time with my colleagues, kind of pretending to be my little businessman version of myself rather than kind of actually being me. On top of this, I haven't laced up a pair of rugby boots in 5 years. So I don't have that ready-made group of 15 mates to go out drinking with on a Saturday. But what I do have instead is like a small group of friends that if I rang them and said, hey man, I've hit someone with my car and I don't know what to do, they would reply, park on an unlit street, send me a location, I'll be right there. Don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. I feel like that's a way better situation to be in. Do I wish I could see all my friends more than I currently do? Yeah, completely. But I guess that's a side effect of we've all moved around a lot, like around the country, around the world, whatever, since school. What can you do? Here's what happens when you tell people you don't drink. Half of them go, oh my God, why don't you drink? And then about half of them go, oh my God, I shouldn't ask that, sorry. As if everyone who doesn't drink is some sort of like recovering alcoholic with a massive problem with alcohol. And I don't know what that says about drinking culture in the UK, but it can't be anything good, can it? I stopped 5 years ago when all the pubs shut and just never started again. And the longer it's gone on, the more I've realised I'm not interested. I don't miss it. I'm not missing out at all. Plus, I actually feel more rather than less confident when I'm out because I know I'm not going to drunkenly say something stupid and embarrassing. There is one major negative though, and that is if I go out for something to eat, there's no possibility of having like a nice drink to pair with your meal, and a Pepsi Max just doesn't suit a fancy dinner like some delicious French red wine does. So yeah, maybe I sound a bit conflicted here, but I guess that's life, isn't it? Nothing's quite perfect, nothing quite rubs along without friction. But with how crazy expensive everything seems to be at the moment, saving a few bucks on not drinking surely is not a bad idea. I'm sharper, I sleep better, I save a load of cash. And I guess if your social life does collapse because you stop boozing, was your social life even that good in the first place? I don't take financial advice off homeless guys, and I don't take relationship advice from bitter old divorcees. The internet and AI is an amazing place to get all the information to answer any question you've ever had. But how do you know if the information you're getting is like good and relevant advice or not? For me, I guess a lot of making a good decision here is down to, is this person living what they're talking about? So like if some guy's pitching a 7-figure crypto scheme and he's a 15-year-old kid who lives at home with his parents, his ideas might be good in theory, but how am I going to listen to them when he's never applied them even to himself? People have got to have skin in the game before I can take them seriously. But once I do find someone who's a bit better than me at the exact thing that I want to be better at, I look at what they've done to get there and then copy it, which isn't always the exact thing that they're doing right now. Like if I wanted to be a better runner, I wouldn't just copy Mo Farah's workout plan because my legs would fall off. Maybe I'd look at what he did when he first got into running, which I bet is just kind of enjoy it and push yourself a little bit harder than last time every time you do it. And I've been stunned at how often those two little things just apply to getting better at anything, everything. It's wild. Then on top of that, I'm not afraid to pay for like professional help and advice when I need it. I saw a therapist for about a year in 2022. I pay a guy to help me plan and organise all my business activities. I worked with a financial advisor when I was trying to get out of that cycle of like living payday to payday, because free information is great, but there's nothing like paying for some information to help me take it seriously and like apply that information practically. Old stuff is cooler than new stuff. There, I've said it. My car is 14 years old and has done 126,000 miles. My house ain't anything like a new build. And I got this jacket in a charity shop for 30 quid, down from 499. I can buy higher quality stuff for cheaper because it's old. You've heard about fuck you money, right? Where you've got the freedom to say no to shit you want to do because you don't need the cash. Well, whatever figure you have in your mind that gives you that freedom, if you're buying everything at a 90% discount, does that bring you closer to fuck you status or further away? Yeah, sure, I can't flex on my Range Rover and I check my time on a Seiko rather than a Submariner. But honestly, the people you impress by driving something like that surely aren't the people you want in your closest little circle, are they? Plus, when someone knocks their door into my car at the supermarket, I don't have to have a mental breakdown because sometimes shit happens, you know. Now, I'm a curious guy. I like cool stuff, I like interesting stuff. I did a degree in history, which unsurprisingly has a very little application to the life of an online personal trainer. But I did it because it was so interesting to me. And also because another student once told me that a student loan was basically free money, which I guess just goes to say, remember what I just said about taking financial advice? Like, you've got to be aware of who you're picking up information from because you can fall for some absolute shit if you don't. So I used to talk on Instagram about which way to do bench press to get bigger pecs, and honestly, who gives a shit? So instead of that, I learned a few things about filming and editing and writing a script. And now I'm talking to you about just the other random shit that goes on in my head, which I would never have the freedom to do if I hadn't just been curious and interested in learning how to do something new. I just feel like learning new stuff cannot fail to make you like a more interesting, rounded, complete guy. So go and read a book or listen to a podcast that isn't just old Premier League footballers talking about what it was like back in their day. It's our day right now. Bit preachy. Once upon a time, I worked a 9 to 5 and all day, every day was pretty beige, except for the little half an hour when my pay arrived in my bank account and I felt great for about 30 minutes. Now I have less stuff, less people to impress, and I'm lucky enough to have found something to do with my time that I actually really enjoy. Like, who cares if the company you work for saves 3% in hiring fees because of the hard work that I did? Versus now, when someone tells me they're the lightest they've been in 20 years since they were a student and the doctor's not worried about their blood pressure anymore, it's a way more satisfying feeling. But look, just because I've got this feeling of, I guess, purpose in my days, it doesn't mean that no days are bad days. I guess it means that I feel more grounded and I've got a bit more direction to work off, which kind of makes navigating the craziness of today a lot more easy, you know? As I mentioned before, there's a secret ninth ingredient that I've been holding back from you. And it's really been the foundation that all of these others have been able to be built on. So if you've enjoyed what you've watched so far, and even if you haven't, then follow the link down below. And as a special thank you, I will immediately send over this secret ninth ingredient straight to your inbox. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video when I've had my hair cut.